Good evening, class. Today I'm going to discuss Jack Wyrtzen and his influence and legacy during and after the fundamentalist and modernist controversy. Jack Wyrtzen was born in 1913 and did not participate in church much in his early years. He was very reluctant to go to church as he grew older. He had a friend who insisted on sharing the gospel with him and inviting him to the events that were a Christian base. Wyrtzen also was a musician and was known to take his trombone wherever he went and played whenever he could. One such occasion was in 1932 to a YMCA event, where after playing he heard the gospel and accepted his new faith. From that point on, his mission in life immediately changed, and he began to share the gospel wherever he went. In 1933, he started a men's Bible study group, Chi Beta Alpha, and a women's group, Phi Gamma. Both merged in 1940 and formed Word of Life Fellowship. He hosted a radio and TV programs throughout the 1930s and early 40s, becoming one of the pioneers in the Youth for Christ movement in America. Even though Wyrtzen was not formally trained as a minister, he had a mission and personality that drew people, especially the youth, to him. He moved back to New York and held his first youth rally in 1941. People of all ages started to attend his rallies. He even held a rally at the Alliance Tabernacle, the same location that Bryant was speaking at only a decade before. The passion and need was still apparent even 10 years later. From there, he spoke at other rallies for the Youth for Christ movement. The Washington Post published in August of 1941 about the Youth for Christ campaign that would open that month, holding rallies and follow-up events, all starting with Jack Wyrtzen, the former jazz band leader who gave up his career to become an evangelist. The New York Times wrote an article titled 18,000 at Garden for Gospel Rally in September of 1945. This was the 5th annual rally held, called the Youth for Christ Victory Rally. Wyrtzen's Word of Life Fellowship was the sponsor for the event, and he was one of the keynote speakers. The rally hosted a 3,000 all-girl choir where hymns were sung and the testimonies of many were given. Wyrtzen's speech was dynamic and called for people to turn to Christ. The paper noted that he attacked the theory of evolution, even though he too once believed in it. Jack Wyrtzen was still combating the controversies of the last 20 years as he led the new wave of revivals among many youth. In 1996, Jack Wyrtzen died. He is recorded as being one of the founding leaders in the Youth for Christ in America movement, hosting TV programs, developing Bible clubs, starting youth ministries in at least 37 countries. The New York Times wrote in his obituary that Mr. Wyrtzen used to tell a story that he was a trombonist in a dance orchestra who read the Bible and decided to dedicate his life to Christian fundamentalism. His legacy and works are still influential today.